So at Analytic Partners, we really do help brands stop guessing and start knowing. And we turn that messy marketing data into crystal clear insights so that you can measure what actually is working and optimize every dollar you spend. So think of us as your little data whisperers. We've been doing this for over 25 years. We were actually just in Orlando 2 weeks ago celebrating our 25-year anniversary. It's the only thing that we do. We are obsessed with commercial analytics. But in doing so, we have got hundreds of billions of advertising spend, hundreds of billions of advertising spend across multiple categories, across multiple countries. Now, what that gives us is a powerful set of norms and benchmarks. It's why the likes of Warp, Google, Meta asked us for our data, our unbiased data. It's why Gartner and Forrester have us #1 in our category. Okay, so when you're looking at the data that I have today, know that it's unbiased and that you can take it with some credibility there. All right, so let's dive into about marketing and the hidden killers. So let's think about buying a car in Singapore. Very expensive thing to buy in Singapore, isn't it? But let's say a wonderful keynote about sustainability and also about health. So let's go for an Audi EV, okay, the electrical one. Let's be on the topic there. So I'm thinking I'm buying my Audi EV. Was it a brand that made me buy it? But what if the Audi EV is $1 million? Do you think I'd be buying it? Okay, I don't think they're that expensive. I know they're expensive in Singapore, but not that much. The same with like, what if that Audi EV only had 3 wheels? Would I still buy it? No, so product is coming into it. Price, product, brand, they all come into this decision making. What about, my neighbor who's sitting here, my former manager, Jocelyn, she has a BYD, or maybe she had an Audi, and she tells me it's great, it's wonderful inside. Maybe it was word of mouth. Maybe I was down at Suntech and I saw one of those big shows on there. Or maybe I was driving in Queensway and there was the inflatable man and I went, you know what? It's not the ads that I saw there telling me about it. Oh, I see the inflatable man. I want to go in, I want to chat to them, and I buy the car. Who do we attribute the sale to? The inflatable man? Or if you don't want to go on last click, and maybe you've got some models that can look at it, maybe you go, well, actually the ad drove them to this and that. But again, you are looking at individual channels and trying to attribute to a channel versus incrementality. So with incrementality, when we measure, we look at, well, what if we didn't do search ads? Or what if we did less search ads? What if we took that away? Do we still get as many sales? If we don't, then it was a driver. But if we do get the same amount of sales or not much of a dip, it probably wasn't driving impact. So what was? So these are some of the challenges that we have that we need to learn. But why do we always go back to attribution as marketers? Okay, it's easy. It's because it tells a really simple story. It's measurable, clicks, I can tell you where it goes, and it's easy to explain. I've sat there when I was in the former roles going, look how much I paid search does, please give me more, a couple of $100,000 more. We need more money, give that to me. We need to cut, don't cut this. But yes, we see that that's still driving, we'll give you the money there. It's easy, right? I can do that. But is it real? So even if you want to keep going down that path and say, yes, Nikki, it gets through my budget out, I need to do my job, I can't do it anymore. Okay, that's fine. But I want you to think about this. In Asia in particular, we had many walled gardens, Meta, but we've got Calculator, WeChat, all these different ones. There is a lot of missing data. There's a lot of missing data. So think about that. On Facebook, I might do organic, might watch a video, but if I clicked on your ad, the attribution is your ad. But there's missing data, and it's up to, and this is one you might want to take a screenshot because this is from our data set. I'm in the middle of it. 59%, so 60% of data is missing. We don't know. 60%, that means we're making decisions with our budget, our tight budgets we have in Asia, on 40% of the data. And let's have a look when we break that down. When you break that down, have a look. Display, 32% is missing. 32% of the data is missing. 36% in video. A whopping 88% in social. We all go after the social campaigns. What do we get when we go in there? Oh, I don't know. What's the ROI on that? Well, 88% of the data is not even there. So if we're not even seeing it on the attribution model, how do you know if it's giving impact? This is where incrementality comes in. Because if you stop doing the social, you'd be able to see. You'd be able to see how much of the impact it gave over time. That's why we fundamentally need to start shifting the way that we measure things. But let's keep going. I'm not just saying that performance is bad, last click is bad, okay? We need performance marketing, but we need to balance it out with brand, okay? And again, we know from our ROI genome, our little genie that gives us all the information, that if you have performance and brand marketing, you can increase your ROI by 90%. 90% more revenue. How great is that? But often in Asia, we do rely on a lot of performance marketing. I've had that many, many times. And I know you're saying to me, Nikki, I just can't get it over there. The budget is really hard, and I get that. But let me show you this, the mix. What we can see, and this is also in the multiplier effect from Walk that we helped collaborate on. You have, if you're under 30% of your mix in no brand, then you're losing money. You're leaving money on the table of your ROI. The optimum is anywhere from 30 and above, so you're looking at 40 to 60. If you go too far over the 75%, then that 3% that are ready to buy right now, obviously you're missing out on that. So you do have to have a balance. There's a need for both. Performance helps you with the people that are in market now, which is only 3% of your market normally at any given time. The 97% are the people that you are driving down the funnel to make sure that when they are ready to buy, are there, and they need your brand. And that's another thing about brand. A very quick thing for you. Did you know that 80% of the time, brand messaging outperforms performance messaging? And I can give you a great example. So I often had, and I'm sure you have as well, product come up to me, I need you to put this ad out about product, or we had price promos, right? They never, ever worked well when I run them for UPS. I remember with the search ones, even with the promo codes, I was always perplexed in the beginning. I'm like, why am I not getting great results? But actually, it was the brand messaging that always outperformed. And so I changed up my tactic. So it doesn't have to be just brand flashy, right? You also can use it in your performance marketing. It's something to take in there. Very quickly, because we are running out of time, creative wear out. So we love, as marketers, to always have big flashy campaigns. And we get sick of them, but actually consistency is one of the keys, right? So we tested almost 52,000 creatives of if they wore out. So think of that like we're talking, not just 30 weeks, a long, long time. If they wore out, that it justified putting more budget in to have a new brand campaign. And you think about it, the diminishing returns, right, of actually putting in for a new campaign. Only 14 wore out, which means as marketers, we cut and we move to the next brand campaign too fast. We don't allow it to wear in, and we should. And if we do, we can leverage that budget. And we can think of things of test and learn, fit for purpose, all those different things. So very quickly, to finish off, what I want to say is, I want to challenge you, stop doing clicks. Clicks does not give you the impact. It never has. We know it, but I want to challenge you, start looking at incrementality. Stop relying on last click, first click attribution models. Move to incrementality. Balance your brand and your performance. Don't pick sides. It is a balance. Even just 2% will move you in the right direction. But aim for above 30 because you're leaving money on the table. If you don't, we can see that. You can take that stat to your CFO. Creative drives ROI. It's not just media. And I touched on it very quickly. Consistency builds and stops decays. We have a lot of data that shows if you keep running it, the consistency builds up the brand. You know it as data. You need to own your own data, speak commercial, and lead the room. Now, I have loads more to say, but that's all the time I have for today. So if you want, we have launched what we call the CMO office. It's for all senior marketers, aspiring CMOs, and weekly we publish blog posts and we put out podcasts and we talk about all of these things about marketing, from video duration to incrementality, attribution, last click. We talk about brand performance, all those different things. Actually dropping either today or tomorrow is going to be a podcast with Chocolate Finance. We talked about their big flashy campaign that you'll hear about later. So if you sign up now, you'll be able to do that. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'll be around for the rest of the 2 days as well. Thank you very much.